Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just wanna mourn and run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, welcome to the new channel. We're here to help you see the new you. My name is Mras, and welcome to the premiere of Season 3 of Mental Shift. Good evening to the United States and to the Philippines. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Welcome to Mental Shift. Tonight, my guest, well, I can't wait for you to meet her, but my guest believes in your ability to create mastery in your world. For over 30 years, she has worked with individuals and organizations as a trainer, coach, a mentor, helping them build their dreams, accelerate the results, and create richer, more fulfilling lives. Her commitment to seeking different perspectives and expanding horizons helps you push boundaries and delight in unexpected discoveries by embracing a no limits philosophy in your life. She believes that our greatest power is believing in ourselves. Please welcome my guest tonight, Janet Langmeire.
Hi, Michelle.
Well, hello there. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Well, I was excited to have you on because you have so much to give, and you've got. Well, I met you at some conference event, and you just had so much energy about you, and I wanted to get to know you more. And then I found out that you're a certified life mastery consultant, a dream builder coach. You're a health coach in the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and you have an infinite possibilities trainer and a TranscenDance facilitator.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
But what you've done is that you help people build that dream life that mind, body, soul. You do it all. Now, my curiosity with all of that is with your workshops and your training, your talks, and you've got a book, right?
Yeah, thank you for mentioning it. It just came out.
I knew it. No, so you have all this going on. What brought you to this part of the world? Into this genre. What did you come from, and what's that mental shift that brought you here into this world of self-development, personal development?
Well, thank you for asking that, and thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here with you. From the first time we met, it was kind of kismet. The energy has always been good and exciting, and I'm thrilled to be opening season 3 with you.
Yeah.
To answer your question, it's really always been the way I look at life. And so personal development's just the way I live. It's always been the way I live. And I've always had a sense of there's more than what you see. And there's more than that surface. I'm one of those people that likes to see what's underneath. My mother used to say, over hooey, under fooey, lift up the rug and see what's under it. And I've always lived with that kind of curiosity about life. So in my corporate world, in my corporate life, I did a lot of training and mentoring, facilitating, that kind of thing. So it was a natural step when I said, the corporate world is great. I'm so glad I had such a great career. This is so much better because now I really help people to believe in themselves and to find that voice, that listen to it. The voice is always there, but learning to listen to it and give the energy to it and, empower people to live the life that they love. That's what I get to do. It's a sacred privilege. And I'm thrilled that I found my way to it.
Well, and that's why I was excited to have you on the show, because we think a lot alike.
Yeah, we do.
But we're coming from different angles too, from different worlds, and we still think the same. So we mesh very well. And that's why I was excited to have you on, because I wanted to share the way you think with my audience, with more of your audience, and just expand the knowledge of what is Janet and what you bring to the world. And now you mentioned the book, but I don't have a cover of your book. What's the book called?
Let me show you. This is the new book. Let's see here. It's called Short, Sweet, and Sacred.
52 uplifting stories from life coaches who overcame and moved from stuck to success.
Thank you for bringing it up. I'm one of 52 coaches who contributed to what's really an anthology of stories about moving through the opportunities and challenges that life throws us. And, what I teach, and these are coaches of the same genre that we are, Michelle, is there's a power in us that's greater than any circumstance that we're facing.
Yes.
And when we lean into that power, we get answers. We find solutions because our intuition never, ever sends us in the wrong direction when we listen to it.
We listen correctly to it.
When we listen to it.
Well, and I'm looking at your background. It says dream, believe, and right behind you, does it say love? Yes.
Their love. Yes. Well, I have children, and when they see things that they go, oh, this looks like mom, they end up in my office. And actually the belief came from client, and the love came from my children, and the dream also came from my children. They just were like, this is so who you are, Mom. This is what you do every day. And so I'm glad to have them back there. Thanks for noticing. Their precious gifts to me.
That is really awesome. Well, mine say your vibe attracts your tribe. And then my husband got one that says, I'm not bossy, I'm motivational.
Well, my favorite one is hard to see. My son-in-law gave it to me 26 years ago.
Wow.
It is a shortened version of the famous Thoreau quote, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams."
Oh, nice.
And he gave it to me in a card. I put it into a little frame. I've had it on my desk in every place I've worked for the last 26 years to remind me of what it is that I do, that I live, and that I teach.
Fantastic. Well, then I have to ask you another question because I saw in your notes you have something called the Body Odyssey that's debuting in the fall of this year.
Fall. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Body Odyssey. You have a lot of trainings. So, let me say this real quick. For those of you who are listening, and as you're listening to Janet, you're like, wow, she's really neat. I want to learn more about her. You need to go to her website because she has a lot of different trainings online. You can go with her. There's a lot of remote ones, but she's got another one coming out called Body Odyssey that's debuting this fall 2021. So her website is Phoenix Soaring?
Phoenix Soaring Intl, International. Yes.
Look
Well,
her
and
up.
I have to tell you that Phoenix Soaring, we always think about a phoenix as something that's rising and then going to the ashes. And I've spent a lot of my life doing that kind of thing, right? Being a phoenix and rising up from the ashes. But it's time to soar. It's time to leave all the ashes behind and soar. And so that's why my company is called Phoenix Soaring. I'm a Scorpio. I was born in November. I am the sign of the Phoenix. So it seemed like it was a perfect way to go. Thanks for talking about my website. And Body Odyssey is a program I've been working on for the last 5 years.
Okay.
And I'm bringing it together this fall because I think it's a new way to look at that journey of well-being. I'm not a nutritionist, although I have a health coach certification, and you can go into nutrition from there. I know enough about it to be dangerous, but nutrition, when I think of nutrition, I think of primary food, and primary food is love, relationships, health, work that we love, a spiritual center. Back in the 70s, Gail Sheehy wrote a book called Pathfinders. Well, actually, Passages was the first book, and the second one was Pathfinders. And Pathfinders stuck with me all those years ago. I still have that particular book on my bookshelf. She talked about what is a Pathfinder, and she defined it as a person who is happy in their life because they have a good social network, they have relationships that they love, they do work or service, maybe they're retired, but they still do service, they bring some service that they love to the planet, they have time and money freedom to make choices, and they have a spiritual center of some kind. And that those 4 pieces of life are what she defined as a pathfinder. That stuck with me back in the 70s. So we're talking a long time ago. And I've always wanted to live that fully in my own life. And now that's what I teach. Body Odyssey is really my culmination of what I learned from her all those years ago by looking at the body we live in and the way we live in it. It's not about being fat or thin. It's not about any of that. It's about being happy and healthy in the life we choose. And we do that life in this body, in this temple that takes us through each day. And I work with so many people who hate their bodies.
Yeah.
Who are so uncomfortable with their body. And you can't just say, hey, love yourself. Just love yourself. It's just that's all you got to do is love yourself. We have to let go of those old stories.
Yeah.
Those old stories that we've told ourselves, that we've heard, that have been planted, that have been shown in how you look. I was with my grandchildren out in New York earlier this last couple of weeks, and I haven't seen them since the pandemic. So it was so good to be around them. And they're triplets. They're 15 and a half.
Wow.
And listening to them talk about how they think about their bodies, they're in a different place than I was at 15.
Oh, yeah.
They're so much more accepting of themselves and others. And I'm thrilled about that because I see enough kids who aren't that way. But there's plenty of adults, both men and women, who struggle with the way they walk through life in this body temple that we all have.
Yeah, I was one of them.
Well, I've been fat, I've been thin. I've been in between, I've been all of them. And it's like I teach a movement class called TranscenDance. It's movement. And it's not, there's no steps. There's no wrong way to do it. You don't have to have a body that looks any certain way. I'm certainly not a dancer, a traditional dancer. And I facilitate this program, right? And the biggest reason I do it is, number one, I'm in front of this machine most of my day. It's where I live my life, right? I talk to my clients here. I do my work here, and I don't move a lot. And exercise is not one of my favorite words. And so, you talk to people, and it's like, oh, eat the right foods and exercise. I don't want to do that exercise. It doesn't really make me happy. So I had a coach who, let's just say that she encouraged me strongly to take this class. And she was just wanting me to take the class. Yeah. And I ended up not only taking the class, but going through the facilitation certification, because what I learned is it was fun. Yes. It didn't feel like exercise. And I do it on Zoom. I do it on camera like we are here together, right? And I'm moving in my body. And is it a slim body? No. Has it been? Yes. But right now, the body I'm living in likes to move and have fun. And I did a class this morning, and the person who was doing the class with me this morning is my oldest friend on the planet. We've been friends for 50 years. We were girls together. We had our first babies within 3 weeks of each other. We've just had this long-term friendship, and we laugh because here we are this morning on Zoom dancing together and just really enjoying. And she's thin as a rail, and obviously I'm not, but we had this really good time. And you can work as hard as you want or as little as you want, depending on how you're feeling. You can do it sitting down. You can do it on a couch. It's like, okay, learning to live in this body, learning to move in ways that are fun and healthy and free, as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just not that person. Yeah. And so, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You don't ever want to see me in an aerobics class because I can't count.
I go the wrong direction. I'm left-handed, and they always move to the right first. So everybody's going this way, and I'm going this way. So if you can't count and I go the wrong direction, we be two people to follow.
You definitely don't want me in an aerobics class. They're step aerobics. It used to be my nightmare class. But it's about being comfortable in who you are, where you are now. Not say, I say that often to my clients, stop putting parameters on your happiness. Stop saying, I'm going to be happy once I drop 20 pounds or when I lose this little pouch or whatever that parameter is that you've locked your happiness in. Forget that box. You have to be happy now. Start finding what you love about yourself. And I share that often, where I stood in the mirror and every day I would find something new that I liked about myself. And the more that your body realizes that you appreciate it, it starts working better with you. It stops fighting. Yeah,
it's true. I walk by the mirror in the morning and I say, "You look marvelous, darling."
We've got all sorts of people saying hi. We have Helene saying hi, Denim and Pearls. Oh, that's Brian saying hi. That's my partner in Denim and Pearls.
Yeah, hi.
And then Helene's lost her. Oh, Hazel, hello. And oh goodness, I think that's it. Nope. I lost somebody. Oh, I scrolled too fast. Thank you for watching. And if you're out there watching right now, please share the live, because there's so much more of Janet to come. And you can ask questions too, So ask questions if you have any. But Helene, you're not allowed to ask about the purple pen. Yeah, purple pen. She always asks about a purple pen. I've got a purple pen. But anyways, I want to go to our commercial real quick. And then when we come back, I want to get more into what you do for people so that they can realize how they can match up with you or find what you do. Does that work?
Works for me.
Okay, stay tuned. Please start sharing this live, and we'll be right back after this commercial. Thank you for staying with us. My name is Michelle Mras, and you are watching Mental Shift, the season premiere of Season 3. Now, we have several TNC live streams, and I'm going to give them to you all in Philippine time. So we invite you to watch all of our shows either live or in replays. We have U-Turn, TNC The Talk, Awesome Day, The Home Buyer, The Puppet Stories, Mondays at 5:30 p.m., The Big Pictures, Mondays to Fridays at 7:15 p.m., The Millennial Voice, Mondays at 8:30 p.m., Foreign Affairs, Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m., HR Hotline, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at noon, Moving on Business, Well Home, Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m., Money and More, Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Philippines and 5:30 a.m. USA, and of course, CyberNext. Please check out our page on Facebook or YouTube by searching the hashtag TNC Now. Enjoy these inspiring shows because we made them for you. And welcome back. Oh, I'm over here looking at Phoenix doing, is Phoenix spelled correctly? Yes, it is spelled correctly.
Good.
But now, when you do what you do, how does working with you look like? I mean, I know you have like programs where they can go online and work without you. They have programs that they can come online with you. How does that work?
Well, right now I kind of focus in two areas. I mean, obviously I do live workshops and speaking, much like you do. But I do group classes online, and I also do one-on-one coaching. I limit how many one-on-one clients I take. So each month I open up so many slots of one-to-one clients. Yeah. And typically I work with people for a minimum of 3 months or 6 months. At the very small. Most of my clients work with me for a year at a time. I've got clients who've been working with me for 3 years, 4 years. It's very exciting when that happens because so much growth and excitement, happens for the client, and I get to be part of it. I always say I'm the coach on the sidelines, cheering you on and helping you, do your best. But so people can work with me. What we do is I usually have a strategy session with a client, a prospective client first, and just talk to each other and listen to what are they looking for, what are they dealing with, because everybody is in a different place. Some of my most exciting clients for me personally have been people who say to me, Janet, I don't have a dream. I just don't have a dream. I don't know even why I would talk to you, and yet they're talking to me. Because we all have a dream, but we don't always want to give it life, or we don't know how to give it life, or we're afraid to give it life. And one of my best stories, and she's still a close friend and client, she said to me, I don't have a dream. I don't want to build a business. I don't want to get a new job. That's not what I'm looking for. And I said, coaching and dreaming and life is not about those things alone. Those are pieces and parts of life. I said, what is it that you really, truly want? She goes, I want peace of mind. I want a calm and peaceful life. And I said, wow, what a great dream.
Yeah.
What a great dream. Let me tell you, everybody does. And the two things I hear most often are freedom to make choices for my life and peace of mind to feel good about the life I have. And I work with people 1 week at a time. It's curriculum based. So it's not, ad hoc. It's curriculum based. I walk people through each week, and they're working on the project. And what's wonderful is that everybody's right where they're supposed to be exactly at the right time. So I just took off a week, and every single one of my clients who took off the week with me, as we're starting to come back and working together, they're exactly where they were going to be. It was fun. So the class work is a group, and I do that on Zoom. And that can be like my ongoing class is called Odyssey, and people can come to just one class, or they can have a membership and they can come every week or every month. I do it once a month, the second Wednesday of the month. We have different topics, but they're all about what you talk about, mental shift. It's about what are we thinking about? Where are we putting our energy? What is it that we want to learn from this topic? And I usually get my topic ideas from clients, from people who are interested in, well, what if we talked about this? Like, we're going to be talking about the genius, the power of your imagination in July. We've got another class coming up on humor. We've talked about limiting beliefs. We've talked about health. We've talked about relationships. We've talked about abundance. We've talked about the fear of abundance. I mean, it's a limitless kind of thing. And I usually give people life work for the month. And then we have a Facebook group where they can, talk with each other and support each other on the projects through the month. So that's the different ways that people can work with me.
And they can find you at Phoenix Soaring International, INTL.com.
Right.
And it's in the chat for those of you who are looking at the chat, but it's also here right below my face. Phoenix Soaring.
Thank you for that.
Now, the other thing, I know your background, you have a very big sales background. And
Yes.
so how does that work into the world that you're doing now? I know this is a quick question.
It's a trick.
I know exactly how it works. But.
Okay. Well, I mean, every conversation you have with every person, we're all buying and selling, right? And I used to say when I was teaching sales, is that it's not about causing someone to take action that they're not interested in. Mm-hmm. Sales is really about having a conversation to learn what it is that's going to help that person for what they're looking for. So you have to listen. You have to help the person discover what's important to them. And you either have a good fit or you don't. And of course, the biggest thing that people are always afraid of in sales is, it's going to cost so much money. People are afraid to spend money. That's a mindset on the part of the salesperson. My experience has taught me that when you listen to people authentically, when you are really present with them, money is a factor. It's not the only thing. It's not the issue. It's a factor. And what you do is you respect that and you find out what they're willing to do. So it's really no different than coaching. You're listening to people. You're helping them solve problems. You're helping them make decisions of what it is they really want for themselves. And if it isn't a good fit, you shake hands, you part friends, and you wish each other well. When you do that, you leave the door open. I always say, give people permission to say no. Because if that's what they need to do, they will. And a lot of times they'll come back later. It's never about, if you're interested only in today's transaction, that's not the way I've ever worked. And I've never taught that way either. So to me, they're the same thing. What I do now and what I did then, they're the same.
Well, and I'm a coach for speakers. So I talk with them about being authentic in their speech, but not just in their speech, what's going on in their head. And so that's why I think there's so much congruency with what we both do is we're both in their heads, in people's heads doing, what are you really feeling? What are you really wanting to say? And what is really coming out of you? You may be saying, this is the best widget ever, but in your mind, you're thinking it's not. So what's happening is you're saying, this is the best widget ever.
Right. And if I'm listening to you and you're saying that, I'm picking up what you're not saying. I'm picking up the unspoken language of what you're not saying. So you need to be authentic. You need to be aligned with what you're doing. I was never able to promote or sell anything I didn't believe in personally.
Agreed.
Ever.
Agreed. Yeah. And that's a huge proponent in everyone's life to be able to believe in what they're doing.
Yes.
I get into the heads, you get into the words and in their heads. So my brain is going.
Again?
No, I'm thinking maybe we should do something where we do like little minis, because there's got to be people out there doing, I don't understand what that means. And maybe I'm going to invite you.
Okay. Okay.
Would you like to go live on Facebook with me once a week or so? And
I would do anything live with you, Michelle. I love you, and I love the way you think, and I love the way you get things done. So yes.
Okay, well then, I'm thinking July 1st, Thursday.
Okay.
We start doing little mini live. We'll see how it goes, and maybe we can help people in mini bites once a week about being authentic with their conversation.
I love that.
We can talk all the time.
But you know what? Because you just said the same thing. Speaking, if you're a speaker, you're making a presentation, you need to be authentic. If you're selling, you need to be authentic. I work with a lot of small business owners, and one of their biggest obstacles is, how do I sell this? And I'm like, get out of the idea that you're selling something and get into the idea of how can I serve? and I want to listen. And in order to do that, I have to have what you just said, an authentic conversation.
Wow.
And I have to be able to speak and I have to be able to present, right? So yes, those things work together. Wouldn't this be fun? Let's do it.
I think it'd be awesome. Well, because my other thought process is it doesn't even have to be in business. In life, you must have authentic conversations. If you're out there looking for the love of your life, you need to have an authentic conversation or you're going to draw the wrong person. So it's the same thing in business and in life.
Absolutely. That's so true, because if you present a false persona to a new friend or a new love relationship, that's going to wear thin really fast. And then what do you have? You know, oh, they won't like the real me. Well, guess what? Believing in yourself is the beginning of the real me. And then if you're comfortable, as you get more comfortable with the real me and believe in myself, guess what? That's who I present when I'm talking. That is, you're right, an authentic conversation and building relationships, lasting relationships.
Well, I'm looking at my calendar. I'm saying we're going to do this July 1st. It's a Thursday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Unfortunately for the Philippines, I think that's 3 a.m. in the Philippines on Wednesday.
Oh, well, they have to watch it recorded. I just put you into my calendar. 1 o'clock, Michelle.
Thursday.
You're on. You are on, woman. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, we'll go live on my page. So those of you who are watching and you want to know more about authentic conversations, join Janet and I on Thursday Mountain Time, 1 o'clock Mountain Time, or in the Philippines, it'll be Friday, July 2nd at 3 a.m. if you're awake at that time.
Wow.
No, this will be fun because I think this is a conversation that can't be done in our time frame here. We're doing.
No.
But I think if we could break it up and just start talking little segments and people can join us on the live and say, hey, what about, and we can just start addressing things. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
I think it's a brilliant idea. And
Okay.
you know, when you get to thinking, you put that thinking cap on, wonderful things happen. I know this about you. So I love the idea. The first at 1, right? 1-1. It's
1-1.
great. Yes.
1-1. Let's do it.
Well, if we don't do something new, how do we grow? Right. So, and, you know, I don't know, I've been, you know, teaching and selling for more we want to talk about.
You already said in the 70s you were reading a book that changed your life. So you already.
I was a pup.
Uh-huh.
I really was. But that book actually did change my life. It made me think about what we talked about earlier, believing in ourselves. You can't have an authentic conversation with yourself unless you believe in yourself.
True.
And we know, our intuition, we know when we're telling the truth, right? We know when we go to the refrigerator and go, I could have the salad, or I could have the whipped cream. And you know what? If you choose the whipped cream, love it.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, like totally. Don't tell yourself, oh, whipped cream is so bad. No, love it. You know, I have a sister who is very healthy and very fit. And she did her first marathon when she was 65.
Wow.
So proud of her. In fact, she beat her son's time.
Whoa.
And she was talking to me not long ago about how she had kind of gotten a hunger for some chocolate. And she was going, oh, I'm feeling so bad that I want chocolate. And I said, just eat it and love it. Because if you eat it and love it, you'll be satisfied. And when you're satisfied, you don't need to keep eating it and eating it and eating it. You just enjoy it. You don't make it bad. You know, we put meaning to everything.
Yeah, food is not bad or
No.
good. It is inanimate.
No. And she's not going to eat chocolate every day. I don't eat chocolate every day. Do I love it? Yes. Do I eat it every day? No.
Speaking of chocolate, on chocolate.
We should all have chocolate. It is incredibly powerful.
Well, I what was I going to say? Oh, I have to tell a secret about you.
Ooh, okay.
People who watch my mental shift know that I tend to break out in song every once in a while.
Oh, yes. I know this about you.
Janet sings too.
That's true. Thank you.
Because that was one of the first things that clicked with me when I met you is you were part of a choir. I saw you in a choir on Facebook and I'm like, she's in a choir. There's a women's choir. And that's what got me over to you because I love to sing.
I know. And you have a fabulous voice. Yes, I do sing in a women's chorus. There are 140 of us. We are currently ranked 4th in the world. We sing a cappella barbershop.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's the most fun thing next to what I do for a living.
Yeah. Well, guess
Yeah.
what I just did?
Singing, it just opens you up. You know, we talk about being present, right? You were talking about authentic conversations here a little bit ago.
Mhm.
There is nothing more authentic than being completely present with whatever you're doing. And when you're singing, you can't think about what's going on in your life. So you show up at rehearsal and maybe you had a bad day, you know, a really stressful day, and you start singing and all of that's gone. And dancing does the same thing. You know, when we start to use our bodies in ways where we're completely present, we're actually starting to change the way we think. And thinking is everything. You know, I always quote Wallace Wattles. You know, he was writing, 100 years ago. And my favorite quote of his is that thinking is the hardest work you'll ever do. That's why so few people do it. Paying attention to what you're thinking has everything to do with the results you get in your life.
Oh, yeah.
So if I believe things about myself and I'm thinking those things all the time, I will eventually find myself in that place. So if I think I'm a victim, guess what? I'll start to behave like one. If I behave like one, I'll start to have more of those experiences. If I see myself as empowered, even if I don't know what to do, but I just see myself that way. And I say there's always an answer, that every problem has a solution. Einstein said within every problem, the solution resides, right? And so if you start to just think that way and know that it's possible, it'll show up. We get so hung up on how am I going to do this and how am I going to do that, instead of what is it that I want to accomplish here? What is it that I want to feel? What is it that would be a good and great outcome for the highest good of everyone concerned? Wow, you might get a different answer if you allow yourself to think that way.
Yeah. That's beautiful. No, I'm going to tell you my secret.
Okay.
I joined a cover band as a singer.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Because I can't make it to Denver to your women's choir, so I joined a band.
Well, you should be a lead singer in a band.
But I need music. And I, in my training, I always talk about to change your mindset, find a song that makes you feel so empowered that you forget that you think you're not empowered. And so you put this song in your head and you embrace it and you bring it into everything you do. You know, that I believe I can fly, that cool, believe in it, like you were just saying. And it will transform the way your thoughts come out of your mind. You, even though when you're thinking, I'm small, you put that song in your head and you think, okay, maybe I'm not small right now.
You'll stand up, won't you? You'll change your body posture. You'll change your state,
Yes.
right?
And so I figured singing is part of my expression that my body needs. I sing and I move when I sing, and I need it in order to be a better version of me for tomorrow and the day after and the day after. So I followed your lead with the whole singing thing, and I joined a place where I could keep singing.
Well, you in a cover band is a perfect solution for your singing. Let me know when you're performing. I'll be there.
Okay, I'll let you know. I haven't started practices yet, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm just going back to rehearsal now. We've been on hiatus. Imagine trying to do rehearsals on Zoom with 140 voices. You can't hear each other, so you're basically singing alone.
Yeah,
it's been long, but we're going back to live rehearsals in July, so I'll be going back to live rehearsals.
Good, because how do you harmonize when people have different kinds of mics? That would be really painful.
We couldn't do it. We just had to practice on our own and listen to some of the recordings that we've made in the past. I mean, I got to give my director kudos, because she did so many wonderful things to help us to stay connected during a really difficult time, because we really couldn't sing together.
Yeah.
And, you know, singing is just, I can't remember when there wasn't a time that singing was in my life. It's always been a big part of my life. And you're right. Get a song, get it in your head and walk around. I mean, when I come on stage to happy.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, everybody is singing and dancing, right? Because I'm happy. And that's how I want to feel when I work.
Yes.
And that's how I want people to feel when they're in the room with me. And, it was just a personal thing for me. So last year, when we weren't out doing our stuff, right, when we weren't in person with people, one of my clients who was at a live event that I had done back in 2019 sent me a note, and she said, I put that song on and dance around, and I think about you and all the things I've learned so that I can be happy. I had no idea the song would impact somebody else the way it impacted me. I love the line, a room without a roof, right? Who doesn't want to be in a room without a roof where you can just have limitless possibilities? That's what it makes me think of. So thank you, Pharrell Williams.
No, I'm kind of locked on our July 1st at 1:00 authentic conversation idea.
Well, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
To think about having a conversation about literally how we live, right? I mean, we are verbal communicators. And when you're having a conversation, whether you're speaking or selling or listening, however it is, we're using words and they're powerful. You know, that old story, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, is not true. Words have so much power and impact. And so this notion that you've come up with is exciting to me because we can start to really dig down. We have time. If we take it in little bites and segments, we have time to look at different ways of having authentic conversations.
Yes, I'm excited because I'm hoping what will happen is we'll have people come on to that live stream and ask us questions, and we can pull them apart and say, okay, we'll talk about this next week, and we've talked about this. We'll talk about this next. I'm holding you to this. Okay, don't let me forget.
I already put it. You saw me. I picked up my phone. I put it in my calendar. I am there, and
okay.
I do want questions. I want to hear what people, what are they thinking about? What are they concerned about? What are they thinking that they want to develop more, or maybe they're already good at, and sharing some things with us too.
Oh yeah, what have they learned? I mean, because I'm thinking with this whole, as the world unfolds and opens up again, of the different kinds of conversations we'll be having with people, because there's a lot of thought processes that have changed over the past year, where people are afraid of things or timid about other things. And this is where my brain is going with authentic conversations, because now we really do need to be as authentic as possible, because people are on high alert and they will sense things in your voice when you're unsure about things more so than they normally would.
I think that's very true. And one of the things I've been hearing from friends and clients both is coming back out after we've had this isolation and being with people and having social interaction. Now, I have a daughter who is so verbal, she makes me look quiet. And she is very gregarious, loves to be out in the world, loves to have parties. And we were talking there about the end of May. They had gone to a graduation party. And she said, I can't believe this, Mom. I'd been there for 2 hours and I was exhausted. And I was looking at my watch thinking, I want to go home. She goes, 8:30 at night. I'm just getting started at 8:30 at night. That's what she says. I'm just getting going. And I was thinking of going home. It had been so long that they had the kind of interaction where there was a party and there were multiple people and there were normally she would thrive and shine and just love that environment. So when you take somebody who's that gregarious, finding their way back into the social conversation and being able to be authentic and being able to say, this is a little overwhelming. I'm feeling a little tired. I maybe have to take a step back and come back and kind of, get our social muscle back.
Yep.
I just spent 10 days in New York with my daughter, her husband, their 4 children, and their dog and their cat.
That's a lot.
I haven't spent that much time with people in a year and a half. And it was great because they have a big house. They have a beautiful property with a big patio. You can sit outside in the trees. And I also had a room I could go to when I needed to. But I found that I had to take time to come back and forth and do it in pieces and kind of build it back up again. And I think that you're right about we've got some real new conversations to have in this area.
Okay. Mark your calendars, people. Thursday, July 1st at 1 p.m. Mountain Time.
Janet and Michelle on a roll.
Yeah, authentic conversations, because we need to address that, I think. I think it needs to be addressed.
I think it's a big subject. I think it's bigger than we might have even thought of.
Exactly.
I mean, I hope people are okay that we're brainstorming on live TV with them.
It's me. You got to be used to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is season 3. We can do this. So they know you now, right? And, and this is how I like to think, too. We both roll this way.
Yeah, because my brain just went blink. What about? Yeah, so mark your calendars. And I know you have it written on your calendar. So, well, don't let me forget. Now, I want to go into our second commercial. And then when we come back, I want to talk more about your philosophy and, things that you'd like the audience to remember you by and take away with them so that they can be the best expression of themselves. That be okay with you?
Sounds great.
Okay, so let's go to our second commercial and we'll be right back right after this. Welcome back. You are watching Mental Shift. My name is Michelle Mras, and I have a few more live streams and replay shows to list for you. And remember, they're all in Philippine time. So please catch our live and replays. So our shows are Healthline, Couple Goals, Win Within Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m., Market Leader, TNC Express Thursdays at 11 a.m., Yo Law Thursdays at 8:30 p.m., Negosio at Home Fridays at noon, Tech U, TNC Marketplace Fridays and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m., COVID Stories Saturdays at 10:30 a.m., Real Teeth Realities Saturdays at 4 p.m., Danny Art Show, After Shift, Women at Work, The Family Business, Usapang Beauty, The Fourth Project, and also catch the TNC specials. One Day, TNC Arena, TNC PressCon, and the TNC Town Hall on Saturdays at 7 p.m., which is co-hosted by our TNC founders, Lloyd and Apple. And Town Hall is where we talk to you, our valued audience. And remember, it's never too late for a mental shift. That's what you're watching right now. It's Tuesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, USA, and Wednesday mornings at 9:30 a.m. Philippines. If you haven't noticed, we are now down to one show a week instead of two. So Tuesdays in the United States, Wednesdays in the Philippines. Thank you so much for joining me on Mental Shift. So for more upcoming shows, follow the hashtag TNC Now on Facebook and YouTube and allow your passion to inspire you. So together, let's us hashtag see the new you. And we're back again. Where's Janet? There you are.
Hello.
So for those of you who are just watching and catching on, we are talking to Janet. She does all sorts of things, but she's a speaker, a teacher, a coach. She has transformational workshops around the country and group coaching. She's got online programs. She's got individual coaching programs, and she's even got movement programs online too. So there's so many ways to reach and work with Janet, but you want to go to her website, and it's Phoenix Soaring International. So PhoenixSoaring International is INTL.com. And it's right there under my face. Thank you so much. So really, you do so much. And I'm excited to start this little quick venture with you on Thursday, the 1st, and see how this works and to serve the public that we want to serve so badly. Conversations must be made, but authentic ones will change the world.
Absolutely. It's the only way that we really touch hearts, that we really open hearts, right? It's to be present, to be real, to be authentic, and to know that create that safety for that, right? So maybe by talking about it together alive and getting people talking and having some questions and just getting these conversations going, it could make a big change. And I don't know about you, but every day I write, my job is to make a positive difference in people's lives and in the world. That's my mantra every day.
Yeah, and then mine is to take the veil off of people so they can be the best version of themselves and be unapologetic about who they are. And
Yes.
that's about that authentic conversation that they have with themselves
Right.
and with others.
Well, you were asking me earlier about philosophy, and my philosophy is really that inside of each of us is a desire for more. It's a desire to live life as fully as we can. We're living on the green growing edge of our own becoming. I always think about, when you see the pine trees in the spring and you've got the green and then there's that new green, the new green, that's where we are. And the idea that we can live in that edge of the green growing of our own becoming is exciting. And how we do that, or how I do that, is really with blending spiritual principles in practical application to life, learning to be in touch with our intuitions. We all have intuition. We've all pulled off the interstate one exit too soon and we knew it. We've all been there. We said, if I'd have only listened, right? Our intuition doesn't lead us wrong. You can actually learn how to tap into that and use it all the time. That intuitive side of your nature is a part of us. It's not separate from us. It's a part of us. So, those are my philosophy is really about living that life to the fullest extent and let that desire for more be expressed in the unique way who you are. There's a story, I think it's in the Torah, maybe it's the Talmud. It's a Jewish story that says, over every blade of grass, there is an angel whispering, grow, grow, grow. Don't you think we are as special and important, and that we're being watched over to grow, grow, grow in our own lives?
Yes. Oh, yes. And Helene just wrote, I am who I was born to be, me, the way God has made me to be. I am just me.
Perfect. Yes.
Perfect for you. And so that's what Janet talks about becoming one with yourself, understanding who you are and loving who you are in your own skin, what you are, whatever it is. You are love. So,
right.
So many of us look in the mirror, especially in our youth, look in our mirror and do, gosh, look at this. Why do I have, and we beat ourselves up. No, you are perfect. You're beautiful. And this is you. If you don't want to be this way, you want to work out, then work out. If you want to eat cheesecake, whatever it is, be you.
Right.
The best version of you.
Absolutely.
Helene, yes, I celebrate you.
I celebrate you too, Helene. That's perfect. I always say the business I'm in the business of love coming alive.
Yes.
That's what I do. Finding that place in us that's one, and that's called love. And we have different ways of expressing it, and they're all perfect.
In your case, the Body Odyssey.
Body Odyssey. That's kind of that, that's the culmination of a lot of years of study and of my own personal experiences with my own body. I was a size 2. There was a time when I was a size 2. There was a time when I was a size more than 2.
I've never been a size 2, ever, ever, ever.
I was for a long time, and that was not a happy time in my life. I was very thin. I could wear anything, but I wasn't happy with what was going on in my life. So, we tie up a lot of emotions around the way we think about how we navigate ourselves in this body. And we're only going to be here for X number of years, right? So every day we get up, this is the body we're in. Let's stop hating it and start enjoying it. And, I went kayaking with my grandkids when I was in New York. I haven't kayaked in years. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I was using my body in new ways and I was having fun. That's what it's about. Have fun to whatever level you can, right? There's no right or wrong way to enjoy moving and breathing and living in this life.
Yes. And I know some people who are not well right now, and but they can't move their legs. So move your upper body, move your arms. I've got a girlfriend who's completely blind, and she loves to just move, to feel the wind in her, the movement.
Yes.
We were talking about that. So it's like, move how you need to move in order to feel the love that's in you.
However that is. I mean, I've had plenty of, a lot of reason Body Odyssey is there is I have had a lot of health challenges in my life where I've been very, very, very ill. And when you're ill, it takes up your life, your focus, everything goes into it. I know that you've had plenty of times in your life when you've been ill. And I think that when you work through illnesses and lift yourself to the best that you can, even during that time, you live your life. And when you feel better, you really celebrate it. And so it's, celebrating what you have with where you are right now, not about when I get there. I love what you said earlier. I'll be happy when this happens. No, right now, in the moment, have that joy, have that enthusiasm for whatever life you can live in this moment with what you have, with where you are, and you'll build on it.
Yes. Yeah. Stop putting your love and your life and your laughter and your enjoyment of life in a box. It's not a present to be opened. It is present. This is the present.
That's right.
It's open already. Go enjoy it. Stop putting restrictions on your life.
Yeah.
Now,
it's not a cliche. It's the truth.
It's the truth. It's so the truth. Now, do you have like final words of wisdom you'd like to leave with the audience? Something a little nugget that they can take away with them?
Well, let's see here. I get asked sometimes, why is coaching so powerful? I think that's one of the questions I get asked a lot. And what I say is, I think that it reminds us of what we're capable of. And it helps us to get in touch to what's meaningful to us, to ourselves. Because we all have a different idea of what's important and what has significance in our life. Coaching helps us become our best selves. When you look at professional athletes, you look at business leaders, you look at the people who really thrive, not just succeed, but thrive, often have a coach in their corner, reminding them of how amazing they already are. So if you don't have that in your life, we're here for you. Both of us, because we both do this kind of work.
And they can join us on Thursdays at 1:00.
And authentic conversations where we're going to remind ourselves what's important to talk about.
Yeah. Well, but that's exactly what coaching is. Coaches help you remember who you are.
Yes.
And
not to become somebody else. Remember who you really are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where the pitfall is when you start wandering and wondering, I'm not like that person. And you walk that direction. No, you're not. Coaches do.
I had a good friend many years ago who used to say to me, she said, I never have a jealous bone in my body because when I see somebody have something I want, I go, oh, that's for me. I've lived that for 40 years. I've never had jealousy because I look at it and go, if that's important to me and it's been shown to me in somebody else's life, then I can claim it. If that's for me.
Okay, go get it.
If you don't know how to get there, well, that's what you and I are for, Michelle.
That's what coaches are for, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to say, Janet, thank you so much for joining me live today.
Oh, this has been so fun. I really appreciate being with you.
I think we're going to have a blast on Thursday the 1st.
I think we are too. I can't wait to see who shows up and then helps out and asks questions and teaches us where we're going to go with this. This could be a really, really good thing.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's like mini coaching on Thursdays at 1:00. Yeah.
There you go. And 2 coaches.
2 coaches for the price of none. Yeah.
That's right.
So we are at the top of the hour. Janet, thank you for joining me live. I'm so excited. And I hope people go out and reach out to you at your website, which is Phoenix Soaring International, INTL.com. There it is right there on the screen. And for those of you who are watching the replay, share this with a friend. Someone needs to hear this. You know they do. Share it now. And please be sure to follow the hashtag TNC now. And go to our YouTube and like it and put the comment in so that you get the little bell when you know we go live. Because I will be live next week, Tuesday, with another amazing guest that you don't want to miss out on. So we'll see you next time, everybody. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your week. Janet, be well and take care.
Yeah, much love to you and everyone who's watching.
All right. So everybody find me on my Facebook page. Jen and I are going to go live Thursdays, July 1st at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, which would be Friday morning at 3 a.m. in the Philippines. So that might give you a range of where we are. So have a wonderful weekend and be safe out there. And until next time, my name is Michelle Mras, and you've been watching Mental Shift.